Earth. Strange black things. They're flying, they're objects, they're unidentified flying objects. This is UFO alien defense. I mean, XCOM Enemy Unknown. On iOS, and I played this last year a ton on PlayStation 3, and the rest of us at wheredoesgodzillapoop.com played this on PC and equally loved it. It was one of the best games, if not the best game of 2012, and now you can play the whole thing, the whole single player experience, with multiplayer coming as an update later on down the road. You can play the whole thing on your iPhone or your iPad on the toilet, and that's brilliant. So you should all get XCOM. That's it. Bye. Oh, sorry, yeah, I was just going to sit down and play some XCOM, really. You can shut the video if you want. But there is a little bit more to say about the thing than that. So this is coming from 2K China, who do a lot of mobile work for 2K. They did a terrible translation of the Borderlands kind of universe to iOS. But that was built from the ground up, and this is, an entirely, basically it's a direct port of the console game a little bit, or the console and PC game, sorry, I should slap myself on the wrist for saying console. It's a basic port of that $60 experience that's now $20 if you're in the US. If you're in Japan like me, it's 1,700 yen, and if you're in the UK, it's £15. So quite a steep price, and it's going to be interesting to see whether the App Store is able to kind of support something that's A, this expensive relatively, and B, this kind of deep as an experience. So I'm fairly early on in the game in this video here, so kind of it's still tutorializing me, but if I just pop out here, you can see, if you're familiar with the original game, you can see the whole base building aspect of it. Basically, if you're not familiar, we're in between missions right now, and we're going to get talked to by this guy.
No doubt you are aware of Dr. Valen's request to capture one of the aliens. A sound plan, but she fails to realize that we lack a facility to safely contain a live specimen. With your approval, my team and I will begin construction of a suitable facility.
So basically, if you're unfamiliar with XCOM, what we're doing in between missions here is kind of micromanaging our troops and their loadouts and stuff, also researching new equipment and building new facilities. So as the next kind of storied goal in the game here, I want to capture an alien and research it. So I'm going to build one of these things, and everything's based on resources, money, how many people you have, how much power you have.
Thank you, Commander. I'll let you know when the facility is ready.
And I love those.
Dr. Valen has asked to see you, Commander. No doubt she wishes to explain her plan personally.
Alright, sorry I interrupted you.
Commander to the research labs. Commander to the research labs.
I love this aspect of the I loved this aspect of the game when I first played it as well. These little bits where you're the commander and you have a CG person talking at you and telling you what you should do. It feels so much like it belongs in the mid-90s when XCOM first came out, because the big deal then was FMV and everything. So it really feels like these should be real actors giving you a cheesy FMV spiel. I love the campness of XCOM, basically.
Commander, I'm sure you've been briefed on my request. With your authorization, we can begin research on the arc thrower immediately.
In other words, research the arc thrower things. This is going to help me take out or capture
Commander to mission
an
control.
alien here.
Commander
And
to mission control.
basically later on in the game, you have a bunch of events that happen that take time, and to sort of pass time, you go into mission control and you scan the globe for any enemy alien activity and whatnot. And I can go into the hangar here. I'm not exactly sure whether I'm able to do anything. Oh, I did just build.
When selecting a specific jet within the hangar, you can choose to modify its current weapon loadout to best serve our needs.
Yeah, right. I did just build a satellite uplink in America, so I should probably order an interceptor to look after that airspace.
Commander to mission control.
So I mean, you're
Commander to mission
you're
control.
looking out for sort of fights with the sort of alien greys that either land on the Earth or they're sort of attacking from the skies, and you have to defend on both fronts and keep all the continents on the globe kind of happy, so your program stays funded. Otherwise, they'll stop backing you, and then you're in serious trouble. So, I mean, even though
Coverage now available.
Looks like that satellite we launched paid off. We're picking up an unidentified fast mover. If we scramble an interceptor now, we may be able to take it down.
okay, so you can see like here, just I sort of shifted my sort of air-to-air interceptors around, and now we've come into contact with an alien ship. So I'm gonna send this guy out. And you can see, wow, you can see right there, this is the first time that, you know, it's gone from a rendered cutscene to an in-engine kind of thing. And there are parts where if you look too closely, it looks an awful lot... It looks an awful lot more sort of shonky than the original game did. But, you know, I mean, the solution to that is not to look too closely, and on balance the whole experience is here, and that's what's important. So just in that little interstitial animation further on, it kind of becomes a little bit more mini-gamey. I shot down a UFO, and now I can send my crew in.
Central, this is Voodoo 37. We have a confirmed kill on OB-001. I repeat, the UFO is down. I'll copy, over.
Solid copy, Voodoo 37. Nice work. Central out. Alright, people. Retest Recon Satellite Bravo and get me a visual on that crash site.
She's coming into range now, sir.
On screen. Magnify.
Okay, so we had a little bit of video feedback problems there, but yeah, so basically just in that little mini game interstitial, I managed to shoot down a UFO, and now I'm gonna send my people in to sort of investigate and see what's up, and shoot up some aliens, and this is where the real body of the game begins. So the original XCOM way back in the 90s was a Julian Gollop game, and it was turn-based strategy. Julian Gollop was the guy that made Laser Squad and a whole bunch of great turn-based strategy games way back in the day. And this really, you know, even Julian Gollop, even though Gollop wasn't involved in the remake, sort of the guys at Firaxis, who are, you know, the kings of turn-based strategy with Civilization, all of that, took over and made something that was really faithful to that game. And a big part of it is the sort of customization that can kind of go into your guys. So you can rename everybody to, you know, whoever you wish. So there might be some figures that are familiar to you if you play, if you read a lot of wheredoesgodzillapoop.com here. And, you know, you can give them the kit that they need, and everybody has individual classes and whatnot that become important. And right here, what I want to do is capture one of the aliens. So I'm going to change this guy's loadout so that he has the capture device. Can I do that yet? Oh, I don't think I can do that yet. Okay, so that's a little bit annoying. It's going to have to wait. But because you're able to customize all of your people, and because there's permadeath here, once your guys get shot down and they die, they're dead for good, then everything, it goes from the camp in those interstitial animations.
It looks like the aliens went down in a sparsely populated area. If there are civilians in the area, I hope they stay clear.
It goes from the camp of those interstitial animations and the voiceover and things like that. It runs from that to just being really tense, really sort of slow-paced, and kind of, you know, it's almost like a horror game in a sense. It's scary going into every encounter.
Strike one is in position to engage. Loud and clear, Big Sky. We'll monitor those readings from here. Strike one is authorized to assault the alien craft.
And that kind of wonderfully tense drama is just, it's captured kind of perfectly on the phone as well, because
Looks
it's...
like the crash site is dead ahead.
Shut up.
We should expect heavy resistance here. There's no telling how many hostiles were on board. Approach the crack with caution and attempt a breach if possible.
Central needs to shut up and let me finish. It's because you're playing on a phone that's suited to kind of short plays. You play a couple of turns, you get into trouble, you stop playing, you know, because you've hit your train station stop or whatever, and then you're left to think and ruminate on how much hassle, how much trouble you're in for the rest of your day. So all of that tension is just brought so well. So when I'm in the game here, I can pinch to zoom in and out. I can rotate my fingers and spin the camera around, or I can use virtual buttons to do that for me if I so wish. And to move, I'm just tapping wherever I want to go. Or if I want more precise control, I can just run my finger over, and trace a line. So I'm going to move my first up to cover here, and then what you really want to be doing is making sure everybody's in Overwatch mode, which you can either move twice in one turn, or you can move once and fire once, or you can move once and put them into Overwatch mode, which means if they see anybody kind of come close, then they'll take a shot at them without your say so, which is really, really important. As I said, it's kind of slow moving, so that's kind of part of the drama of everything. You need to kind of put everybody on the lookout and whatnot. So Dave right here has a sniper rifle, and because I haven't leveled up my snipers, he can't move and go into Overwatch in the same turn. So I'm going to let him move twice and kind of sort of nullify that disadvantage a little bit. Whereas Joe over here, he's just earned the new ability to run and gun, which means that I can move twice with him and shoot in a single turn, but I don't think I want to do that yet. So I'm going to be looking out for a piece of cover. I think maybe up here? So, I mean, you think something, you might kind of think, in a way, a lot of iOS games are about instant gratification and instant, play this for 2 seconds, get a kind of visceral thrill from fighting things and then move on. So this kind of very sort of slow-built drama that is a stage in XCOM, it kind of doesn't seem at first like something that you're used to. As crap as it kind of sounds, and as weak a video as it may make,
Looks like the crash site is dead ahead. We should
keeps on
expect heavy
talking.
resistance here. There's no telling how many hostiles were on board. Approach the crack with caution and attempt a breach if possible.
Yeah, thanks. I knew that. There are long patches where nothing really happens. It's all about building this tension at the start of every match or of every kind of stage. And this is what makes XCOM what it is. But that in no way is kind of denigratory. It's thrilling. It's an incredibly exciting experience, and I'm just moving my guys up a few squares at a time and kind of just letting everything sink in at the moment. And that's what's that's what's really great about this game. So I moved him up here. Let's see if we can at the very least get to see some action on the field here before this video ends. Basically everything here is about cover. you can see, judging by the shield that that is next to each of my guys' sort of status indicators, that shows you how much cover you're in. You either have half cover, where, you know, basically you have half a chance of getting hit, or you have full cover where you're not going to get hit, in essence. But if you leave your person out in the open, it's essentially you're giving them a death sentence. And you know, so everything is, you have to put your guys into cover. If not, you're toast. And the game will let you know that as well, you know. Ultimately, the people you control are kind of treated as people, and they'll let you know. They'll say, "What the heck are you doing?" You know, if you make a dubious tactical call. So now it looks like we're gonna have to take on some beasties here. Again, we've got 2 enemies that we know about that have taken flight over to the right. So I'm gonna bump. Actually, I can take a shot here. Oh no, Dave can take a shot. Let's move. Watch again. Right, so there's all sorts of abilities you have to be aware of that the aliens can do. So one of those guys has taken control of his buddy, which has let his stats buff and then take my guy for 2 damage there. So I really want to be able to kind of fight back here, but I'm not, kind of limited by the sort of low level and the early nature of a lot of these characters. So you can see, yeah, in just little cutscenes like that are where you realize where sort of corners have been, not cut technically, but where you know, where they've managed to be able to fit this game onto a phone and onto a tablet. But it seems here I'm finally able to take my shot. So I can either go for a headshot with my snipers or go for a regular shot with less of a chance of a critical hit. 55% out, that's my sort of hit percentage here, but I'm going to give it a go. And yeah, I was able to get it there. So the thing is, as well though, that aliens are worth more to you if they're alive than if they're dead. Now that I've built my sort of containment unit, I'll be able to research their technology if I can bring them in. I'm gonna think Joe here has a med pack, so I'm gonna send him over to heal Dave, my sniper. Oh, but I forgot I can't do both in the same turn. So yeah, I'm so used. The last time I played XCOM, I was fairly far into the game, so I'm kind of used to the technical benefits you have of leveling up your guys and not really thinking about how to handle things where everybody's on a low level here. So I might be in trouble.
I'll take a fire.
But thankfully those guys have rolled the dice and failed. Oh no. Sometimes, like, XCOM is also about the disaster scenario of everything falling apart, and there's nothing you can do, having made a poor selection of choices because of the turn-based nature of the game. There's the only thing you can do is just see everything fall apart and sort of cry as nothing seems to go right for you. But then there's the intense satisfaction of getting it right and everything coming together and stringing together critical after critical or headshot after headshot. But when Dave misses a sitter like that, that's just frustrating. So I have a health pack here. So I'm going to use that on you.
Come on, you'll be back in the fight ASAP.
And move you up so you've got a bit of a chance to fight back. In fact, I'm gonna... Is it really worth throwing my grenade out there? No, it's not. Because there's nobody. Yeah, these guys are gonna be pretty tough to see, but I managed to get a lucky hit in. Oh no! Oh, that was really lucky. That was really lucky. He missed a sitter. Oh dear. Yeah, I think Stacy's in trouble. She might buy it here. Yeah, I think let's bring some pyrotechnics in. So just like in the sort of big box release, what you can do with grenades and rocket launchers and things like that is free aim. So you're just sort of tracing your finger to aim here and then hitting accept. And that's satisfying. So hopefully I'll be able to... I still can't take care of this pesky bugger. I think I'm gonna blow another grenade. Where are you? Oh no, he's not even in range to do that. I think I'll switch to Joe and see if he can get a better shot. He doesn't, but I can run and gun.
Moving at the speed of death.
God. Again, some of those lines, you know, could be... I don't know. I think that the camp is kind of intentional, though, and, you know, that's really appealing. I'm going to send him up here. Hopefully have a better angle, but then...
There's a being of almost pure energy.
The alien craft is still intact. It's got some
Then
kind
I
of
put myself into
energy
danger
protecting parts of the
on a
ship.
different flank.
We'll have to look for an opening.
The readings coming from that creature are like nothing I've ever seen.
Go on,
You
have a go.
study it when it's dead, Doctor.
Ah! Lucky as anything. Get to death. Second lucky shot.
Mission accomplished.
Yay! You know, so again, everything there. That's the kind of swing of momentum. So that's the wonder of XCOM. That's what makes it so good. It's just, you know, it kind of feels like you're snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, or the other way around is what makes this game so exciting. And while it might not translate so well to video, it's not kind of instant gratification or anything like that. It is just tremendously tense and exciting, and even though it's stressful because of the number of plates that you have to spin at any one time and the amount that you have to micromanage, it's also in a strange way really relaxing because you can take your time with it. You can play for a little bit, you can mull things over, you can think about stuff, and then you can come back and you really... Even though all of the people that are in your crew are ciphers that you've just named after your mates, they're also kind of, you know, they become oddly important to you. You kind of you build up a sense of their character in your own mind. In a weird way, it's one of the best narrative games, you know, that there is. And it's just one of the best games that there is. It's the best game. It's the best game. It's on your iOS, it's on your iPhone and your iPad. Just as I said at the start of this video, I should have just said get it and then moved on from there, really. So for more on XCOM, including a full written review of the original PC version, and more on games, more on Japan, more on Japanese games and Japanese life and everything like that, head on over to wheredoesgodzillapoop.com. I've been Chris Charlton. You've been great. Thanks for watching. Get this. It's pretty good.